Thanks to the Texans wire, we got predictions. Actually, their predictions on what they believe will be finalized in the 53-man roster. We're going to get into that. So, starters, backups, practice squad, and who's getting cut. We're going to go over that. Let's read a little bit of this article before we go down at this list, see who's going to make this team. This is a prediction from the Texans wire, but I took a glimpse of it. Don't seem too far off. And for some players' sake, they actually wanted to go this way. If you're a fan of Dameon Pierce, if you're a fan of John Mechie, you probably won't think it's too bad. So let's go into this article real quick. This is Making It Monday. Welcome in quick hitters. Welcome in Goodymo short crew. Making it Monday. The Houston Texans wrapped up their preseason schedule with a 17-15 win over the Los Angeles Rams on Saturday at NRG Stadium. Now comes the hard part. Over a dozen players performed admirably in Saturday's contest, and yet maybe 10 will make the active 53-man roster. Some will be brought back on the practice squad. Others might have to turn to the UFL or Canada to continue their playing careers. And even those who make the final cut could be traded for draft compensation heading into week 1, thus leaving a future spot open for a potential reunion. Cut day is Tuesday, but some news will start trickling in as early as Making It Monday. But after recent news and telltale signs, several names could be on the move. So here are the Texans wire predictions of the 53-man roster in 2024. Let's check that out. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. Who y'all think the starting quarterback is for the Texans? Huh? Who is the starting quarterback for the Texans? You got 5 seconds. CJ Stroud will be the starter for the Houston Texans. Texans wire prediction. Backup, Davis Mills. Practice squad, Case Keenum. If you're a big Case Keenum fan, you wanted him on this roster, on this team, he's on the practice squad, according to this prediction. So that's not too bad. He's not cut, but he's on the practice squad. Who got cut out of the quarterbacks? Tim Boyle. The wire has Tim Boyle cut from this roster. So anybody have any problems with Tim Boyle being cut off of this list if it rings true? This is a prediction. And Tim Boyle is on the cut list. So we're going to go down to the fullback position. Andrew Beck. Who doesn't love Andrew Beck? Remember last year returning that kickoff for a touchdown when he needed all that oxygen? Stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling all the way to the end zone. Shouts out to Chris Berman, stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling to the end zone for a touchdown. Andrew Beck. He's projected to be a starter coming in this season. Practice squad, Troy Hairston. He will be the backup. Who got cut? Nick Baldwin. Nick Baldwin is on the cut list. Let's go down to the running back position. To this prediction, the Texans are going to keep 4 running backs. That will help out Dameon Pierce if this rings true. The wire says the starter will be Joe Mixon. That's not a surprise to anybody. Backups shows Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers, Ngumbawale. Practice squad, British Brooks, Jahar Jordan. And who got cut? J.J. Taylor is predicted to be cut from this roster. Any problems? Everybody cool with that? If you cut for Dameon Pierce, you want him to get another opportunity. Him being a backup on this roster, you should be pleased with that. That's a surprise to me if you're going to keep 4 running backs, but then again, you need all the help you can get at the running back position. Houston needs consistent running. That's well documented through the years. They need consistent running, so why not keep 4 running backs? on this list. But it is a prediction. It's the Wire's prediction. We're just going over it. Check out the wide receivers. Starter, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. Those are your three starters. The backups will be John Mechie III, Xavier Hutchinson, and Steven Sims. Now John Mechie, as we covered, everybody thought he was on the brink, and he still could be on the brink. This is just a prediction. I got to keep saying it. This is just a prediction. He still could be cut, but the Wire says he will be a backup with Hutchinson and Sims. Noah Brown will be on IR, according to this prediction. Practice squad, Johnny Johnson III, Quintez Cephas. Practice squad. Who will be cut? The veteran Robert Woods and Ben Skowronek. Now, Robert Woods, wily vet, we love him in Houston, brings leadership, brings toughness, brings consistency in practice throughout camp, bringing along the younger guys. They have him cut. I'm not a Robert Woods fan, but I did predict this when I looked at the wide receiver group. I had him on the outside looking in. The Wire has him on the outside looking in as well. These guys could be cut or they can be traded. Him and Skowronek. So anybody has displeasure in that or have a problem with it, take it up with the Wire. So we go into the tight end position. Starter, Dalton Schultz, no surprise. Backups, Brevin Jordan, Cade Stover. I think everybody looked at it that way. Who's going to the practice squad? Tegan Quitoriano is going to the practice squad. That right there, I think no one has problems with for the tight ends at all. We're just waiting for Cade Stover just to go on, move up that line. Might take a while, but he will move up that line eventually. Great talent. Offensive tackle. No surprise here. Larry Tunsil, Titus Howard are your starters for the Houston Texans on the offensive line. Who are the backups? Blake Fisher, Nick Broeker. Who's on IR? Charlie Heck will start on IR according to this prediction. Practice squad, Killian Zaire. Killian Zaire. Who got cut? David Sharp. Let's go check out the guards. Starters, Kenyon Green, Shaq Mason. Backups, Kendrick Green, Dieter Iselin. Practice squad, Chris Reed. Who got cut? Cameron Irving. Any objections? Okay, we'll move along. Center. Starter, Juice Scruggs. Backup, Jarrett Patterson. Who's going to the practice squad? Chris Reed. Chris Reed, practice squad. Any objections? Okay, we'll move along. Defensive end. Starters, Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter. Is that a shock? Backups, Derek Burnett, Jerry Hughes, NFI list, Dylan Horton. Practice squad, Ali Gay, Malik Fisher. Any objections? Okay, we'll move along. Defensive tackle. Starters, Foley Fatukasi, Mario Edwards Jr. are your starters from this prediction. Backups, Khalil Davis, Marcus Harris are your backups. Who's on IR? Tim Settle Jr. Autry is suspended. Practice squad, Fidarius Payne, Kurt Hennish. Who got cut? McTelvin Agim, however you want to pronounce that last name. I could be slaughtering it. I don't know. But McKelvin Agim is cut. Any objections? We'll move along. Linebackers. Starters, Aziz Al-Shair, Henry 2020. Backups, Neville Hewitt, Jamal Hill, Jake Hansen. Who's on IR? Christian Harris. We hope not for long. Love to have him out there. We'll see. Practice squad, Max Tooley. Who's cut? Delshawn Phillips, Tariq Barnes. Any objections? We'll move along. We're going to the cornerback position. Cornerback position. Starters, Derek Stingley. Is that a shock? Surprise? Derek Stingley Jr. Kamari Lassiter. Is that a shock? I think not. Backups, Jeff Okudah, Chris Boyd, D'Angelo Ross. Practice squad, Mike Ford, Troy Pride Jr. Who got cut? C.J. Henderson, Desmond King. Any objections to that? Any objections?
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
Let's just cut this thing off. Happens every time. But any objections? No? We'll move along. Slot defender, Miles Bryant. They have him as the starter. Miles Bryant. We go to the safeties. Starters, Jalen Petrie. I don't think that's a surprise. Jimmy Ward. Backups, Eric Murray, Kalen Bullock, MJ Stewart. Practice squad, Lonnie Johnson Jr. Any objections? Any objections? That seals it up. The Wire might have something here. We're going to find out soon enough. But when I looked at it, I was like, to be a pleaser for fans or people who wanted certain guys on this roster that wasn't really performing that well, but you actually wanted to keep them, this favors them. This prediction favors them. Now, will it reign true? That remains to be seen. Tuesday, late making it Monday, you might find out. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Dameon Pierce, he could easily be cut. I mean, that's putting it in a simpler way. He could easily be cut. I think if he was cut, it wouldn't be too much fight back on it. Besides you and your feelings, and you just love the guy, and you just want him to get multiple opportunities and see what he can do this year if he gets another opportunity, and who knows. But one thing we do know, we want the best. And to want to move forward and go contend for a Super Bowl, you have to have the best. And Cam Akers, this man is a backup that can also be a starter, in my opinion, depending on what team he's on. So the running back position looks very good coming in this season. So I have no problem with that. Now, Dameon Pierce maybe gets one more shot. And if he does, he should be blessed for that. And for as John Mechie, I just think he's done enough to show that he can make plays when you put him on the field to help this team out. And you can keep him on the roster. So I can see that happening. But if they do decide to cut him for some reason, I think there'll be some people upset about it for about a couple of days or a week, and then they'll get over it by the time the season starts. Because they understand it's about production. No time to look back. It's time to move forward. We want the best product on the field. And hey, if they get cut or something happens, hey, they're not on this roster. Hopefully they can help another team out. Don't mean their career has to end. We'll wish Mechie the best to go play for another squad. You know, play against him. Who knows in upcoming weeks. Robert Woods, the veteran. We all like him, what he's done in Houston. To me, it's all been a patch-up job when you go wide receiver 4, 5, and 6 and all of that, trying to get these guys to fill in, because we know what the top 3 is. Or you want to say top 4, because Hutchinson, he's coming along very nicely. And I like Hutchinson. And I want him on the roster. More than likely, he will be on the roster. When you hear DeMeco Ryans talking about him, you know, he's upgrading from last year to this year. Improvement. You got to award that. And I just had a sense that Robert Woods will be on the outside looking in due to this young talent. And Robert Woods can easily go to another team and produce. So it's not a sad song. This team is just rising now. And we need outstanding talent, especially when it's young talent. So I don't see no problem with that. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the cut list, the starters, the backups, who's going to practice squad. This is the Texans Wire prediction. But it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate, if you ask me. Might be a tweak here and there. But as far as deciding the fate of Dameon Pierce, John Mechie, and I guess you can say Robert Woods, stay tuned on that one. In coming hours, a day, gonna find out. But preseason is over. It's time to roll in with the real stuff now. Everybody can't wait. And a doozy is going to start it off. Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens. Been a lot of talk. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Who's the best? We already know who the best is right now. But a lot of people making a lot of arguments for Lamar Jackson. They say he's the best player in the league. And Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Could be argued. Best player, best quarterback. To me, I like to combine it a little bit. If you're the best player in the league, eventually you're going to have some hardware to back that up. The people who saying Lamar Jackson is the best player in the league, eventually he's going to have to get his team over the hump. Eventually he's going to have to get some hardware. Eventually, whether it's playoffs leading to the Super Bowl, that you're proving that you're making these plays time and time again, winning plays to get your team over the hump, making them advance. That's what the best player in the league should be doing at some point. A lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson coming in this season. A lot of pressure. Patrick Mahomes has been doing that already. He has Super Bowls. He's made big plays in games leading up to playoffs, in playoffs, leading to the Super Bowl, time and time again. So you want to say best player, best QB, whatever. He's best all of it right now. Till somebody knocks him off. And I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. Don't make no mistake about it. I'm rooting for the guy. I want him to come up big. I want him to advance, going up against a Patrick Mahomes. And wouldn't mind him winning it. I'm not no big Patrick Mahomes fan. I've been saying this. I call it how I see it. Sometimes the truth got to be told, whether you like a guy or not. Got to respect it. Huh? You can't deny the eye test. You see it. And for some people, it makes you angry every day. Watching you.